Who's this?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
What's going on?
What's going on? You guys keeping in touch with the news?
Yeah, we're on touch.
Hello. Hello?
Yeah. I don't know what this guy's trying to say.
He sounds like a...
Hi.
He's underground.
Hello?
Hello, can I talk to Cabby?
Yeah. Go ahead, he's on.
Yeah, what's up? Cabby, what does Brooklyn look like? My girlfriend's someplace in there. Is that okay out there?
Yeah, Brooklyn's fine. It's they're not. It appears they're not letting anybody into the city. All the bridges out are filled with cars. People are trying to walk across the. There's a walkway going into the city. It looks like they're being turned back until they cannot go into the city.
Cabby, are people just like out on the street?
Yeah, there's people everywhere. I mean, I'll walk over to the edge of the building here. There's cars stopped, and there's people standing on the street. People are talking and looking up. I mean, that's all you can do right now is look up at the devastation that has been caused.
By the way, on my TV set now, I'm still watching the World Trade Center burn. It's basically gone. It's completely eliminated.
The South Tower is completely gone from the skyline. There is nothing there.
And there's about, I'd say, a third of
the whole top of the building.
The whole top of the building's on fire on the other one.
Yeah, I'd say there's a third of it left.
It started sort of in the middle of the building. Now the top of it is completely in flames.
Right.
Now, did you get the report that somebody said the last plane crashed at the base of the building?
There was a third plane that actually set off that second explosion that caused what we thought was an implosion at first.
It was another plane hit the building and it collapsed.
Yeah, hold on. Who just left? I think I lost somebody. Hold on.
I think it's because that first plane hit the center of
It's okay, I got you.
All right. Yeah, it's. I mean, I come up here every night and I look at these at the skyline of Manhattan because it's so beautiful. And to see this morning, I mean, I woke up and I'm.
Cabby.
I can't even believe it. I mean,
I'm going to.
What the hell is wrong with people?
I know. I'm going back to the feed.
Second crash, 18 minutes later, what we have heard from the Associated Press was a plane out of Newark. Then a third crash at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and a fire at the Washington Mall, and now a fifth word that there was an explosion at Capitol Hill, which had since been evacuated, and now the sixth incident right now. The State Department apparently had been evacuated as all this was going on, only to find out that there's been a possible explosion there as well.
And, Michael, I've been told by our guest here, Michael Hirschman, who's the president of an international security and counterterrorism firm, that there's an unidentified aircraft approaching an airport in Northern Virginia, possibly Dulles or Washington National Airport. Authorities there are scrambling to find out about that aircraft. An unidentified aircraft circling,
get rid of it,
approaching an airport in Northern Virginia. We're not sure which airport that is. You have Dulles there. You have Reagan International and George. Actually, those are the two airports there, scrambling to find out the nature of that aircraft. Can you tell us any more, Mr. Hirschman?
Only that's an unidentified.
Well, they taught us a good lesson. I hope. I hope we've learned something. That's Cabby's feed right now you're listening to. You can hear the emergency vehicles going off. There's complete bedlam.
They're trying to get closer, I believe, by going to the Brooklyn and the Manhattan bridges to get closer into downtown, because I'm sure the devastation from the collapse of the building has wiped out. It had to wipe out 20 square blocks around there.
Tom, what are you hearing out there?
My question was the first building, the one that's still up, the second one was where the big plane went into the
That's right.
collapse, right?
Yep. And they're saying a possible third plane.
Is that? I don't think so.
No, that wasn't a third plane.
It looked like the World Trade Center was almost tipping at one point.
It did.
I think it was probably
World Trade Center just doesn't exist anymore.
No, I think the one that's still up looks like it's almost buckling.
I think that's the one that got hit originally.
The U.S. State Department has been evacuated. The Pentagon has been hit by a plane. Let me see.
Doctors, nurses, and that they are getting people from everywhere into that hospital. It's now called the NYU.
That's the bottom line. We don't even know how many people have been killed.
That's all we have here.
Tens of thousands.
Yep.
Those lines, Cindy, every firefighter is...
White House, Capitol, Treasury has been evacuated. FBI security has been tightened across the country. They don't know where the next attack will come from, or if there will be one.
All the airports are closed in the entire country.
Yep.
Los Angeles is on alert. You realize that this building collapsing, it probably collapsed right in on the financial district, which is the financial hub of the world, Wall Street.
Well, that's what they were doing. First, they knocked out the financial district, and then they went after the government.
They were in the middle of actually evacuating the financial district, and I don't even know how many people got out of there before that building collapsed.
I mean, you're talking a 110-story building falling in on itself.
Yep. It was huge.
Yeah,
children if you're able to get there. Obviously, the area is still very dangerous, so we caution you against taking in.
And just put up a graphic. Crashes.
These people wanted to throw us into chaos.
Yeah, they have. Crashes occurred 18 minutes apart. What?
This is not tape at all. This is the only remaining World Trade Center tower. The other collapsing not too long ago. Both victims of plane crashes. The tower rather that has collapsed, though we are told, collapsed because of a third.
This is chaos.
The source of that, though,
and
at this point, we don't know.
It shouldn't be put as a crash anymore. It was an attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Buildings were attacked. This country has been attacked.
Somebody
a crash at the Pentagon,
is at
a
war
fire
with
at
us.
the Washington Mall, and an explosion at Capitol Hill, as well as one at the State Department. And we just received late word of a suspicious plane.
Exactly. And a suspicious plane approaching an airport in Northern Virginia, trying to determine whether that's Dulles or Reagan-Washington Airport.
Yeah, why can't you get in touch
Authorities,
with this
of course,
plane?
are scrambling to
What do
find
you think is going on? You think there are more attacks coming?
Sure.
Sure, why not wipe out an airport while you're at it?
If you look live at Chopper 2, you talked about the issue of going down and trying to get...
How many people are involved in this? How'd they keep it quiet?
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how you... They say now that they got word that there was going to be an attack at the White House. They didn't alert anybody else?
But they probably figured the White House they can take care of.
Is anybody out there screening my phones? I do see some people are able to get through, not many.
Yeah.
Let's see if someone can stay on that.
You know, Howard, they got into all the places that are supposed to be the highest level of security. They got into the Capitol.
Yeah, this is no amateur hour.
I don't know. The Capitol's confirmed.
This wasn't
Capitol was bombed.
Explosion.
Yeah, it's been confirmed. It wasn't a crash. It was an explosion. They have people.
There's probably on the ground people as well as in the air people.
A car bomb at the State Department. How do you know?
Possible car bomb at the State Department.
I mean, they
now
went
being
into
reported.
Our highest levels of security. They got into all of them.
That's the thing about terrorism.
But wait a second. How did the hell they keep this quiet?
Right. There's a lot of
many people involved.
There's going to be hundreds of people involved in this.
And this has to be people who were here for some time.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't just hijack an airplane. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, and to do it simultaneously?
Right. 3 or 4 airplanes, and you're not...
Look at how long Japan planned to do Pearl Harbor. They did as much. They did as much work as that.
Now, this is a huge undertaking. This is a war.
The problem is we've been talking about Osama bin Laden planning some new major attack on the United States for about a year.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this.
You know, we'll never know till this whole thing is over, but for all we know, their plans failed miserably, and this is a third of what they were planning
to do. Yeah.
Good point.
The world thought they were going to do on New Year's Eve in 1999.
Right. Yep.
And they were smart and they waited.
They waited till a random day in the middle of the week in the middle of September.
By the way, well, let's see. There's not many calls coming through because a lot of phone lines are dead, but Barry's on the phone. He's a paramedic on the way to the World Trade Center. Barry, what do you know?
I don't know too much. I know what you know. I watched the collapse on TV. I'm a paramedic in New Jersey, but we're going, I assume we're going over there.
How are you going to get in?
I don't know. I guess we're going to use the tunnels. I'm on my way to where we get our units in Jersey.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. John wants to say something.
I think they just bombed the building in Jersey. That's what I just heard from,
Let me go back to the feed and see what's going on.
Explosion on Capitol Hill. You know, this is so preliminary. We get so much information that it's going to change throughout the day. And at this point, they're saying no explosion on Capitol Hill.
No explosion.
Also, as you mentioned, the international flights are now being diverted to Canada, and air traffic is being stopped everywhere else. That's really all we have right now from the newsroom. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cindy. We'll check.
What did you hear about Jersey?
A friend of mine just called and said that they just bombed the building in Jersey.
I'm not hearing that here. Wait.
All the subways have been closed. We're trying to get an update, especially going into Lower Manhattan. Those have been closed, obviously.
The hell is...
You know how our intern who was answering the phones got so freaked out, she had to leave the phone. She was flipping out about all this.
Well, can someone who's not flipping out
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I just want to tell you about the Jersey.
The bombings and the...
Second plane was from Newark.
That was the second plane that hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
was open, going
So
out,
they
trying to get
hijacked the
everybody to
plane
go
there.
out. One of the concerns, of course, was that the Emergency Command Center was at 7 World Trade Center, which is across the street from Tower 1 and what was Tower 2, unfortunately, and that the Port Authority was based at the World Trade Center.
Tower 2.
President Bush did comment earlier. He called it an apparent terrorist attack, but then updated that to call it...
Seemingly at this point, quite certain. He pledges the